It ain't no place for nobody weak. The weak get punished.
Nobody finna do nothing to Gucci, period.
Never.
And not nothing happen.
I see you in the club, I'ma slap your bitch ass. Put that on my mama, boy.
I got my ear to the street, so if you say anything about me, fuck you.
Y'all scared to talk to me now. Look how y'all on Pins and Needles.
Gucci, I felt at one point, was the craziest motherfucker in Atlanta.
The DeKalb County rap star plans on turning himself in a few hours to face murder charges.
Stripper listened to Jeezy say 10 G's for a chain, and she was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm gonna get me a chain.
Rap shit, something bad happened to you, nigga. Put some hoes in.
We're gonna ride that shit till we done. Like, ain't no love, ain't no making up, ain't no shaking no hands.
To be honest with you, you know, originally, I felt the way. Because I felt like, you know, Jeezy had let Gucci disrespect him.
He needed to be in the ground. Put his ass where he supposed to be. He tried.
Rap star Gucci Mane may be going back to the slammer. The artist was arrested last Friday in Atlanta on misdemeanor battery charges. According to DeKalb County Police, a 36-year-old woman claims that, back in January, the rapper pushed her out of a moving vehicle after she refused his offer of $150 to go to a hotel room with him. She was treated on the scene for minor injuries. Born Radrick Davis, the rapper first rose to fame in 2005 and has since released 5 albums, all of which have reached the top 10 on the Billboard rap charts. Gucci Mane served a 6-month jail sentence beginning in 2005 for assault, and in 2009 began a 1-year jail term for violating his probation, but was released after 6 months. He's also expected to soon be charged once again with violating his probation. Ken Lombardi, CBSNews.com.
Beef is a common occurrence in hip-hop, with various rappers, producers, and even executives waging war against one another, both on and off wax. While many of these beefs are devoid of violence or bloodshed, at times these situations can and have boiled over, resulting in physical altercations or even worse, murder, all of which have transpired in the past more than 15 years between the at one time heated rivals Young Jeezy and Gucci Mane. Whether you like it or not, Gucci and Jeezy will forever be noted as key architects in building the trap music genre. Just like the fake eyelashes on an Instagram model, Jeezy and Gucci had a falling out shortly after the release of Gucci's breakout hit, So Icy, setting the stage for the war that would last much longer than anyone expected. These are the detailed events of what took place before, during, and after the Young Jeezy and Gucci Mane war. Roderick Atlantic Davis was born on February the 12th of 1980 in Seymour, Alabama, to former USA serviceman and power plant worker Ralph Everett Dudley and social worker / teacher Vicky Jean Davis. Coming up as a kid, Gucci's grandmother raised him while his mother attended college to get her degree. After earning her degree, Gucci's mom would embark on a career as a teacher and begin to teach Gucci to read at a very young age, spending most of her time teaching the young Gucci scriptures from the Bible. As a youth, Gucci attended Jonesboro Elementary for kindergarten and the early grades of elementary school. Gucci's older half-brother introduced him to hip-hop at a very young age, when he would bring Gucci to the Run DMC, Beastie Boys, and LL Cool J concert hosted by Def Jam. Before moving to Atlanta with his mom, Gucci's relationship with his pops had become distant. Gucci's pops visit on a not-so-frequent basis, putting a strain on the relationship. The visit stopped entirely when Gucci's pops had 2 children with another woman and began to prioritize his other kids over Gucci. Gucci and his mom eventually moved to Atlanta when he was 9 years old. After living from pillar to post, Gucci's mom moved he and his brother to East Atlanta, where Gucci would attend Cedar Grove Elementary School. It wouldn't be long before Gucci would start slinging that green with his older brother. After making enough bread to score on his own, Gucci used his profit from the green along with money given to him on Christmas to cop some coke. Gucci was only in the 8th grade at the time. Gucci really started pumping when he was a freshman at Ronald E. McNair High School. The year was 1995, and unbeknownst to Gucci's mom, he had been hustling for years. At the age of 15, while riding his bike, Gucci was jacked at gunpoint. It was this encounter that would trigger Gucci to start toting that iron. This wouldn't be Gucci's only life-threatening situation in the streets. In 1997, Gucci was beefing with some dudes that were calling themselves the East Show Boys. This beef would result in Gucci's homie, Devon, being beaten damn near close to death. The beef would, however, come to an end when Gucci and his homies got to get back for his partner. After graduating from McNair High School in 1998, Gucci would catch a cell charge in 2001 when he sold to an undercover. For this offense, Gucci was sentenced to 90 days in the county, being put on probation after his release. J. Wayne Jenkins, aka Young Jeezy, was born on September the 28th of 1977 in Columbia, South Carolina. Jeezy spent time growing up in Hawkinsville, a central Georgia town southeast of Atlanta. Jeezy would later relocate to Okinawa, Japan, due to his father being in the military. It was being a military brat that showed Jeezy that there was a world out there that he hadn't seen. Upon returning to Georgia, Jeezy's parents got a divorce. Meanwhile, still awestruck by what he had experienced, Jeezy was trying to convince his friends that there were beaches they had never seen in other places of the world. A life of struggle was all that Jeezy knew. All of Jeezy's people worked in factories, 9 to 5s, or were paying minimum wage or a little above. The fact Jeezy's mom worked as a personal housekeeper never did sit right with Jeezy. It wouldn't be long before Jeezy would jump into the dope game, making that bread, dropping thousands each week in Magic City with Big Meech. It was Jeezy's relentless work ethic and grind that set him apart. All-night flight studio sessions would lead to Jeezy investing more bread into making music. Before he knew it, his career would take off. After meeting Antonio Reed, aka LA, at the time chairman of Def Jam Records. The year is 2005. Jeezy would be introduced to Gucci shortly after the release of the Streets Is Watching mixtape. The working relationship between Gucci and Jeezy would be formed. Ultimately, the two would end up collaborating on Gucci's Black Tea, a flip of them franchise boys' White Tea. Let's fast forward. Icy, the track featuring Gucci and Jeezy, was released as the lead single for Gucci's debut album, Trap House, which would spark a huge buzz for Gucci. However, there would be discrepancies over the ownership of the record, as Jeezy's request to release the record as part of his own Def Jam debut, Let's Get It, Thug Motivation 101, was shut down by Gucci. This would be the start of the tension and fallout between Gucci and Jeezy, which planted the seed for the bad blood that was yet to come. In his feelings about the entire situation, shortly after, Young Jeezy fired the first shot on wax, dissing Gucci on Stay Strapped, dropping Gucci's government name, as well as making several insults and threats towards Gucci, closing out the track by issuing a $10,000 bounty on Gucci's chain. Jeezy let it be known that all love between the two had certainly been lost.
Even his own mama know Roger Davis a bitch. To be honest, niggas, nothing Gucci about you.
Never want to back down from any smoke, Gucci fired back at Jeezy, quickly with his reply, round one. Gucci wasted no time addressing the beef, dissing Jeezy in the very first verse, going on to destroy Jeezy in the rest of the song.
Hey man, check this shit out, man. It's just for the rucker, man. That nigga Young Jeezy, man, that nigga fake, man. That nigga's not a thug, man. That nigga's a waster, man.
War of words between Gucci and Jeezy quickly spilled over to the streets. Jeezy's partner, Pookie Loc, attempted to pull off a home invasion and attempted to rob Gucci, which led to Gucci fatally shooting Pookie Loc.
Cap.
Technically, you really didn't kill anybody. So let's stop talking about that now, because all of these kids think that you're the #1 killer. And let's don't talk about it no more, because now you're a dad. You got two sons.
Yeah.
You have two sons. So come into that and think about your kids looking at something, and these kids are looking at you a certain kind of way of something that's fictitious. It was done for rap.
So you're saying that, wait a minute, hold on. You're saying that Gucci never did that to Pookie Loc?
It's no secret that Henry Lee Clark III, aka Pookie Loc, is a native of Macon, Georgia, and an artist on Jeezy's CTE. If you didn't know then, you definitely know now. This attempt on Gucci's life was directly connected to Jeezy and Gucci's beef. On May the 19th, just days before the release of his debut album, Trap House, Gucci turned himself in to DeKalb County Police to face murder charges on Pookie Loc's death, later posting a $100,000 bond on the date of his album's release. As fate would have it, when Gucci was released on bond while awaiting trial for the murder of Pookie Loc, he returned to prison months later after pleading no contest to a separate assault charge. While serving the 6-month sentence for the assault, the charges in his murder case were dropped due to insufficient evidence and eyewitness testimony. Gucci admitted to shooting his attackers, but maintained that he acted in self-defense, leaving prosecutors with no evidence for a murder charge. In June of 2006, fresh off of beating the murder charge, Gucci reveled in his victory, launching a verbal assault against Jeezy on the diss track 745, released months after Gucci was acquitted. Gucci made it clear that his vindication in the eyes of the law hadn't changed his disdain for Jeezy one bit.
Because you had some things to talk about. Young Jeezy, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about that for a second. Let's reiterate for those that didn't catch that Rap City episode, man. What's going on with you and Jeezy?
I don't fuck with a nigga, he a pussy.
All right. So what's got you feeling that way, man?
Niggas just be doing little bitch ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit a bitch would do, you know what I mean? Like a little bitch.
All right. So where's all that coming from? Because, I mean, y'all had the song together. It seemed like the relationship was going along pretty all right. You know, y'all both repping the A.
I thought it was a real nigga, man, but you know, nigga carbon copy, man. I'm Oreo.
All right. So what really was the beginning of the end and making you feel this way that you feel right now?
Nigga tried to get my song on his album, and after he couldn't do it, you know what I mean? Just bitch came out of it.
So what he started doing exactly?
You know, just making diss records. Going on the radio saying little shit. You know what I'm saying? Popping shit to niggas and shit.
Was he doing that in Atlanta or in markets that you might not have been in?
He was going to markets I ain't been in yet and do a show before I get there and tell them don't buy my record when it come out.
You actually heard that cats was saying like, don't buy Gucci album.
I seen it on videotape. So that what made me just flip out like this.
Okay. So now, when was the first time you heard a diss record from Jeezy?
I was doing a show in like in Tampa, Florida, and while I was riding out, we heard it on the radio.
Right. So, like, did that feel like it kind of came out of nowhere? Like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
No, actually, I anticipated the shit, you know what I'm saying? But still, I got, you know what I mean? I got to handle it.
Okay. So, how's Gucci Mane handling the situation right now?
Everything's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been beefing with niggas in the hood all my life, you know what I'm saying? But it's like one of the weakest niggas I ever beefed with. So, it really ain't no problem.
Well, all right, so you got some diss records coming out, or like, you know, what's going on with Gucci Mane?
You know what I'm saying? I got the album in stores now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I want everybody to go support me. It's real hot. Got a lot of talented producers on there. You know what I mean? A lot of party tracks, a lot of street shit on there. You know what I'm saying? As far as just dissing them, you know what I mean? I got a couple songs. You know what I mean? I got a couple disses on the album.
On the album, okay.
So everybody go check it out down here. You know what I'm saying? What I got to say.
All right. Now, just recently, I mean, you were involved in a very serious situation. There's like actually like, you know, some legal charges against you right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you talk about what's going on with that?
No, little shit, small shit to a giant, and then I can't, you know what I'm saying, get over.
Okay.
You know what I mean, or whatever. But shit happens.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just on the, you know what I mean? Like Game say, on the path to be a rap legend, a lot of shit gonna goddamn be in the way, you know what I'm saying?
All right, no doubt.
And I'm definitely on the path to being a rap legend, so all the shit, every hurdle I gotta jump, I'm gonna jump the motherfucker, like a track star.
No doubt. But we keeping it street, we keeping it in the hood, we keeping it real right here. He might not be able to say it, but I'm gonna say it, all right? The man got some, are they murder charges or attempted murder charges?
Murder charges.
Murder charges, straight up. And what's so crazy was, we're on the set of Rap City, we're taping the show, and like I had no clue because you were so just like, you know, regular with this shit.
Yeah. It's like, man, you know, you can't fold under pressure. They say pressure busts a pipe. You gotta hold your shit together. I represent a labels, a lot of people that, you know what I'm saying, working very hard, day and night. And I'm just the person that's in the forefront, you see what I'm saying? So everything I got to do got to be smart. I can't disgrace nobody. There's a lot of people that I disgrace, you know what I'm saying? So I got to hold the respect of my company down and respect the big cat down. So, you know what I'm saying, on the strength of that, I had to hold myself together. Can't lose my composure.
So outside of Jeezy, are there any other beefs that you feel that you have? I mean, I ain't even gonna ask you to name no names specifically, but
there's a lot of them fuck niggas I don't like.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But the year is 2008. Taking a page from the Art of War, Gucci began to align himself with Jeezy's partners in the industry. First, joining forces with DJ Drama for a Gangsta Grillz mixtape titled The Movie. This collaboration would obviously not sit right with Jeezy. On January the 12th of 2009, DJ Drama and his entourage were jumped by Jeezy's CTE crew at the screening for the Notorious Big biopic, Notorious. Not one to hide his emotions, Jeezy would let his feelings about Drama be known, referring to Drama as a bitch-ass nigger and cornball in an XXL interview months following the incident. This is some wild shit right here. After breaking ties with Jeezy in 2007, Coach K branched off on his own, ultimately hopping on board to assist Gucci with his career following an encounter the two had at Patchwork Studio. It was this relationship that established that there were no personal issues or bad blood between Gucci and Coach K. Gucci and Coach K will prove to be a successful duo, as Gucci's next album, The State vs. Roger Davis, will become his most successful body of work at that point of his career. After downplaying the beef for years, Jeezy broke his silence in 2009 by unleashing the street banger 24-23, which included multiple digs aimed directly at Gucci. In March of 2010, Waka Flocka and other members of Gucci's crew got into a fight with Jeezy's partners outside of an Atlanta clothing store. Neither Jeezy nor Gucci were present. One of Waka's security guards let off shots during the altercation. Word on the street was Waka allegedly left with a black eye given to him at the hands of Slick Puller. In October of 2012, when Rick Ross got into an altercation with Jeezy at the BET Hip Hop Awards, Gucci commented on the incident during an appearance on The Breakfast Club, stating, "Ross is a friend of mine. Of course, Jeezy is not. I ain't got no respect for Jeezy. Never have, never will."
You know, Ross is a friend of mine. You know, of course, Jesus is not, so
there you
I
go.
don't care nothing about what happened to him.
But that's what tripped me out about the situation, because you and Jeezy had a well-documented beef. I mean, bodies were caught.
Ain't nobody finna do nothing to Gucci, period.
Days later, Jeezy responded to Gucci's comments about him during the Breakfast Club interview, stating, "Man, everybody knows that boy is off his rocker." Within a day of Jeezy's statements, Gucci dropped a diss track against Jeezy titled Truth, challenging Jeezy's street credibility and accusing him of being a bad father and a sucker for love. Gucci went crazy on the track, even mentioning the 2005 killing of Pookie Loc.
A $10,000 bounty put on my neck. I hope you didn't pay them cause they didn't have no success.
On November the 12th of 2015, having gone nearly a decade without directly acknowledging the death of Pookie Loc, Jeezy spoke on his deceased partner's death on Forgive Me, a track from Church and the Streets. This ongoing war lasted for years, both on and off wax, with blood being shed and a man being buried.
Yes, Your Honor. All right. This is the case of State of Georgia versus Davis. My name is Jesse Law. Mr. Davis, you...
It states the same thing. Just based on what the criminal history of Mr. Davis, we must ask for a
I asked him and confirmed that there was no attempt to serve him at a studio, at a residence. Accordingly, it was confirmed there was no holds. Contacted fugitive, knowing from doing this for a while, of information about my client. I do want to say that I have a community service letter from somebody with the Atlanta Public Schools that I'll tender. I'll show counsel. I'll tender to Your Honor. If I can approach.
Sure.
Excessive amount, whatever that is. We're just asking that the bond, their bond be set. I never asked for an amount. That's not my job. My job is to ask for bond. The conditions I leave in the courts with the court's discretion.
Okay. Well, in the exercise of my discretion, I understand your position, Mr. Findlay, but this gentleman does have a aggravated battery.
However, in November of 2020, after initially declining an invitation to battle against Jeezy in a Verzuz battle, Gucci suddenly had a change of heart and announced that he put the differences aside and would go heads up against Jeezy for the love of the culture. Jeezy and Gucci's Verzuz face-off took place at Atlanta's Magic City, and for most of the broadcast, it was not as cordial as an event as previous Verzuz battles. Gucci opened up by performing the Jeezy diss track Round 1. Before gangster music, Jeezy refused to stand up from his chair while Gucci remained on his feet. The most anticipated part of the night would come when Gucci performed the Jeezy diss track Truth, making it a point to say that he was smoking a Pookie Loc pack. Jeezy, obviously shaken by this, would say it has been 20 motherfucking years. Before Jeezy could finish his statement, Gucci corrected him, letting him know that it had been actually 15 years. In the final round, Gucci and Jeezy announced plans to end their feud right there with a joint performance of So Icy. Gucci thanked Jeezy for extending the olive branch and then announced they were going to a club together that very same night.
Real extra crispy in my Rose Creek University. I'm a freshman. I ain't never did this in my life.
And I lived up to it for sure. So I knew they were ready. I gave them all enough to be ready for it. Like
in a relationship. Bro, Shannon, so that's not what happened when you hit me with the bottle in that mouth. That's not what happened.
Bro, you're corny. Cry me a river. I hit you and guess what? You could still go to jail for hitting me.
1017 Global Music LLC, also known as the New 1017 Records, formerly known as 1017 Brick Squad, So Icy Entertainment, and 1017 Eskimo, is a record label founded by Gucci Mane in 2007. 1017 has had a laundry list of artists that consisted of most notable names such as Gucci Mane himself, Believe It or Not, Young Thug, obviously Waka Flocka Flame, Pooh Shiesty, Giano, OJ the Juice Man, Late Big Scar, and Enchanting, just to name a few. In 2007, Gucci founded his first independent record label, So Icy Entertainment, after signing with Verzuz Entertainment.
This is Deborah Antony of Verzuz Entertainment, the creator.
Soon after, Gucci released his independent album, Tropathon. From 2007 to 2009, it flooded the streets and online streaming platforms with mixtapes. These early years of internet mixtapes would change independent music forever, paving the way for artists to generate income from platforms such as YouTube, SoundCloud, and Audiomack. On May the 4th of 2010, Gucci announced that he was closing So Icy Entertainment and leaving Verzuz Entertainment due to business concerns with Deborah Antony, the mother of Waka Flocka. Since then, Gucci had gone on to partner with The Atlantic to distribute himself and the artists on his label. Superstition is a belief or practice resulting from ignorance, fear of the unknown, trust in magic or chance, or a false conception of life in itself. Millions of people around the world either believe in superstition or have fallen victim to it, as what will be the case with Gucci Mane and his 1017 artists. Apart from the death of two core members of Gucci Mane's The New 1017 Records, two others were arrested and the remaining two were dropped. Most notable among the group of rappers and artists, Pooh Shiesty was sentenced to 5 years of imprisonment after pleading guilty to federal conspiracy charges in 2022.
And it involves a recording artist, Pooh Shiesty, except unlike this clip, what happened here was no music video. The footage shows a McLaren sports car, Mercedes Maybach, and another Mercedes pull into this East Bay Harbor Drive condo parking lot. Men from the vehicles eventually get out and meet, and then this. The fancy getaway cars speed off, and one of two victims then hobbles to the car.
Skyforce 836.
The victims ended up at Aventura Hospital with injuries. But back to the scene for a moment. Police say the famous rapper was in that McLaren. Police and prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon where the shots flew, and it happened right across the street from the police department and town hall here in Bay Harbor Islands, and days before an arrest.
The town of Bay Harbor Islands says you're wanted for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon.
He's also charged with armed robbery. Bay Harbor Police names one other for aggravated battery in their affidavit, saying the two left the state in a private jet. Police also using these Instagram photos, showing Shiesty with an assault-style rifle and cash as part of their case. They say the shooting came as one of the victims tried selling high-end sneakers.
Who, they got the right guy?
Sheldon Fox, 7 News.
And so just a few minutes ago, we actually learned from the courts, Pooh Shiesty's court date has been reset to February 9th.
Rapper under arrest, accused of shooting a security guard at a South Florida nightclub. Police say 22-year-old Montrell Williams, who goes by the stage name Pooh Shiesty, was performing at King of Diamonds last month when someone knocked money out of his pocket. A crowd jumped in trying to collect the cash when Williams reportedly brandished a gun and shot the guard in the ankle.
Fugiano has been serving 5 years of jail time after cutting off his ankle monitor and violating probation. A Greene County Superior Court judge sentenced Fugiano in a case related to possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Details after law enforcement in Tennessee arrested a rapper who had been on the run for months. Josh Breslow is at the WKRN.com alert desk with the details.
Yeah, Neil, so we're talking about Fugiano. The Atlanta-based rapper, whose real name is Kwame Brown, is represented by Gucci Mane. Take a look. This is a booking photo just in. U.S. Marshals now say they tracked down the 27-year-old in Memphis last week. They tell us they had been trying to find him for 3 months after he apparently melted off his court-ordered ankle monitor, and they tried to track him down there. At last check, Brown is now being held in a jail in Memphis. We've also learned he's part of an ongoing wrongful death lawsuit stemming from a fatal shooting that happened at a nightclub in South Carolina. We are working to get some more information. Once we get that, we'll post it on our website at WKRN.com.
These are the details of the untimely demise of Gucci Mane's 1017 rap artist. On December the 16th of 2011, around 5:30 p.m., Slim Duncan was preparing to shoot a music video when he engaged in a verbal altercation with another person. Chaos would ensue as Slim Duncan was then shot once in the chest with a handgun. After being shot, Slim Duncan was rushed to Grady Memorial Hospital, where he would be pronounced dead.
Slim Duncan was shot and killed Friday evening while he was in a music studio in Atlanta. Police say around 20 people were inside the building at the time, and that Slim Duncan, real name Mario Hamilton, had been arguing with another person as he was getting ready to record a video, and then he was shot in the chest. Police are still looking for the shooter. Slim Duncan, a native to Detroit, was said to be a rising star in hip-hop. He was featured pretty heavily on rapper Waka Flocka Flame's videos like Band and Karma, and was a member of the Brick Squad rap crew. He was only 24.
On December the 26th, Vincent Hardeman was arrested by Atlanta police after turning himself in and was charged with the murder of Slim Duncan. On February the 26th of 2013, Vincent was acquitted of the murder charge. However, he was sentenced to 25 years in prison on related assault and weapon charges.
Have you reached a verdict?
We have.
Was it unanimous?
It is.
Has the verdict been filled in, signed, and dated by you?
It has.
Please publish the verdict in open court by reading it.
Count 1. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant not guilty as to the offense of murder. Continuing with count 1. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant not guilty as to the offense of voluntary manslaughter. Count 2. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant not guilty as to the offense of felony murder. Continuing with count 2. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant not guilty as to the offense of voluntary manslaughter. Count 3. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant guilty as to the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Count 4. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant guilty as to the offense of possession of a firearm during commission of a felony. May I see the verdict, please?
Alexander Woods, born April 7th of 2000, was better known by his stage name, Big Scar. Scar grew up in the Magnolia community of South Memphis, Tennessee. Scar was one of 9 children and lived with his grandmother until her death when he was 13 years old. At the age of 16, Scar was injured in a car accident that left scars on his face, which would inspire his stage name, Big Scar. In 2020, Scar was shot in the hip with the bullet traveling to his spine. This necessitated an appendectomy and the realignment of his leg. Big Scar, the Memphis rapper and 1017 artist known for his breakout single Make a Play, died December the 22nd of 2022. Scar was found and pronounced dead by local police, who declined to share his cause of death, stating an investigation was still ongoing.
We are following more breaking news tonight. This is about a Memphis rapper connected to Young Dolph. Rapper Big Scar has died. This is what was posted by rapper Gucci Mane on his Instagram page. It shows a picture of Big Scar along with the caption that reads, "This hurts. I'm going to miss you." We are hearing the rapper died today. He was signed to Gucci Mane's label. Right now, we are working to learn how he died. Big Scar was about to go on tour with Key Glock next year. He was just 22 years old.
Big Scar's family would later report that Big Scar had died from an accidental prescription drug overusage at his girlfriend's apartment. Shannon Nicole Larry was born October the 9th of 1997 in Germany to American parents, spending her early years in Fort Worth, Texas and Atlanta, Georgia. Enchanting began her music career in her late teens, performing in the church choir. After graduating high school, Enchanting worked as a hairstylist and nail technician before pursuing a career in hip-hop, later releasing music online. March the 11th of 2019, Enchanted was featured on Bugatti Casino single. The song earned her recognition, which led to her signing a record deal with Gucci Mane's The New 1017 Records in 2020. Enchanting will subsequently go on to release several singles and projects, including No Love in 2020 and Love Sacred in 2023. On February 24th of 2023, Enchanting released the single Tell Me Why, featuring Leighton Green, and was featured on What He Can't Reach alongside The Don in October of the same year. On June the 10th of 2024, Enchanting was rushed to the intensive care unit and was reported to be in critical condition following a heart attack, possibly caused by drug overusage. After false reports of Enchanting's death circulated on social media, her sister KJ clarified in a public post that her sister was alive, stating, "Please ignore the false reports. My sister is just fine." However, at 2:26 a.m. June the 11th, Enchanting would be pronounced dead at Baylor University Medical Center in Dallas, Texas, after being removed from life support due to complications from alleged drug overusage.
Here this morning, fans of a Fort Worth rapper are expressing their grief on social media over her death. Channing Nicole Larry, also known as Enchanting, died yesterday at the age of 26. Her sister confirmed that on social media, but no official cause of death has been released just yet. Enchanting was an emerging artist. She caught the eye of rapper Gucci Mane, who signed her to his label in 2020.
Enchanting's ex-boyfriend, Johnny Damn D, posted multiple videos of Enchanting, saying in an Instagram story, "We came up, we got rich together, we signed to 1017 together, and I'm honored to spend your last moments of your life with you. I love you." However, things would take a weird twist, as Johnny Damn D would state that he might be charged with involuntary manslaughter for Enchanting's death. Johnny Damn D would also insinuate that Enchanting had OD'd. However, an attorney representing the Channing family stated that the drug overuse allegations were false. Attorney Bria Riley sent a cease and desist to Johnny Damn D, who was apparently with Enchanting when she collapsed. Johnny allegedly told paramedics that Enchanting had taken oxy and heroin at a party. After she was hospitalized, Johnny took to social media to share videos and text messages from Enchanting, as well as uploading a video from Enchanting's hospital room. In the cease and desist letter, the attorney claimed Johnny violated Enchanting's right of privacy for publicity when he uploaded the video. Meanwhile, Johnny is receiving death threats still to this day on all of his social media platforms.